Lesson number 26, identify and generate equivalent expressions. Equivalent expressions are two expressions that have the same value. They're equal to each other. One way to generate equivalent expressions is to combine like terms. Another way is to factor out a common factor. And the way you're going to do this is by looking at your properties of operations. And you can go back and review. All right, they're the associative property, the commutative property, and distributive property. So we're going to use these three different properties to help us generate equivalent fractions. Again, if you don't remember these properties, go back and review them. All right, so let's look at a problem. Here it says, which expression is equivalent to 9z minus 10 minus z plus 10? So what we're going to do here is we're going to use the distributive property to get rid of these parentheses. So we've got 9z minus 10. Now, if we use the distributive property here, we go minus 1 times z gives us negative z. And if I go negative 1 times 10, I get negative 10. So now I just need to combine my like terms. So I see here I've got 9z and negative z. So if I combine that, I get 8z. And I've got a negative 10 and a negative 10. So if I combine that, I get negative 20. So my answer is 8z minus 10. Looking at another example, it says Dwayne built a rectangular fence around his vegetable garden to keep out deer. He used the formula P equals L plus W plus L plus W to find the perimeter of the fence. Which other formula for perimeter could Dwayne have used? So again, this is what's called the perimeter formula. You're trying to find the distance around the object. You're measuring the outside of an object. So if I look here, I've got L plus W plus L plus W. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to combine like terms. There's one L. There's another L. So that gives me two L's. And I've got one W plus another W gives me two W's. So another way of writing perimeter, instead of saying L plus W plus L plus W, would just be 2L plus 2W. And one last example, it says here, which expression is equivalent to 36x plus 42y? So what we're going to do here is I'm going to look at my two constants. I'm going to look at 36 and 42, and I'm going to say, what is the greatest common factor for these two numbers? What's the greatest common factor for 36 and 42? Well, the greatest common factor for 36 and 42 is 6. So I'm going to divide both of them. I'm going to take 6 out of both of them. So if I divide 36x by 6, I get 6x. And if I take 6 out of 42y, I get 7y. So using the greatest common factor, if I'm taking the greatest common factor out of both terms, it leaves me with 6 parentheses 6x plus 7y.